verse 2.
Right?
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
The land of Egypt, right? Because we want to know what Egypt is, right? Go ahead.
Out of the house of bondage.
What's Egypt?
House of bondage.
Egypt is the house of bondage. That's what Egypt is in. That's like us saying, if you go back to prison, you're going back to the big house. Right? It's a euphemism, a slang term, right? So let's go back to Deuteronomy 28, where he said he's going to send us back into Egypt, which means house of bondage. House of bondage. It's all right, brother. We're gonna get there, right? Read it again from the top.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
He's going to bring you into the house of bondage with ships. With ships. That's fact for the Negro man and the Puerto Rican man and woman. You came to Hawaii to serve slavery on ships. Say it again. Jeremiah chapter 50. 23? 33. Get that. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. What we're reading here is in the Bible we find our history. That is how we identify that we are the children of Israel. Okay, sister, we got contact information on the back of that flyer. Don't lose that. Fold it up, put it in your bag. All right? Read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast.
Right.
They refused to let them go.
Right. So the children of Israel, right? So when you learn the history, we were divided into two. We had a civil breakup, right? And the kingdom of Israel was broken up into two. The house of Judah, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and the house of Ephraim, or known as the house of Israel, right? All these brothers right here, right? It says, even though we split up, we were oppressed together. Right. We are oppressed together, right? So when history, during this time, right, when Negroes escaped, right, they could flee into the hands of their brothers, the natives, right? And there they form bonds, they form marriages, they gather together, right? At the same time, the Native American man, right, as he's so called, was also being oppressed by the same white man that oppressed us. Right. They would have you think that we're different, but according to the Bible, our heritage, our history proves that we're the same person, because this is identifying the children of Israel, right? Everything that happened to us happened to them as well, right? But the thing is, you don't learn about that in history books, right? You don't learn that the Hispanics, the Latinos, Native Americans, they went on slavery before, they went on ships before we did, right? What do you think Columbus did when he got here on them ships, right? He put them on slavery and brought them back to Europe and other places, right? And if you look here, they came here to try and keep their heritage. That's why you see them wearing fringes. That's why you see them wearing fringes. But they went off into sun worship and everything, and then the Most High delivered them into the hands of the white man. Same thing as us. Same thing as us. Go back to Deuteronomy 28:68. Read it again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Is he good?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
What does Egypt mean? House of, what's your name, brother?
God.
God? All right, I'm Ithiel. It's good to meet you. All right, I should have said that earlier. All right, good. So Egypt means house of bondage, right? Go ahead.
Again, with ships.
He's going to send us into bondage again, but this time with ships, right? Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
In our homeland. Where are black people from? Where do black people say that we're from? We say that what parts?
From
Ethiopia, all kind of. So every black person is from Ethiopia. That's like. Now think about it. That's what we believe. We have no idea where our homeland is. No idea. That's part of the curse. He said we'll never see it again. We'll never go there again.
So we were scattered throughout all the nation. We're the only group that's ever been scattered amongst.
Absolutely. It's called the diaspora or the dispersals. Right? Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
No more homeland.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Sold unto who?
Your enemies.
Who was we sold to?
Your enemies.
Who was we sold to? What do they call?
To the white man.
To the white man. But what does the Bible call them?
Our enemies.
That's a hard pill for some people to swallow.
Yeah.
That is a hard people for some of our brothers to swallow. The people that had us in chains, right? And that goes to how destroyed we are. These people had us in chains, castrated us, ripped babies out of our mother's wombs, right? Had our children in the fields, right? Scalped us, right? but yet we cannot consider them our enemies. We think, oh, there's some of them good. God says they're enemies. Enemies, right? Read.
Your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave men and slave women, right? Slave men and slave women. Go ahead.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man has freed us from that slavery. We're still in the land of our slavery.
Right.
Just because we could get a car or we bought a home, right, does not mean that we're free.
Right.
Does not mean that we're free. Because we can't live in there anywhere that we want to live. We can't do what we want to. We can't even stop sweating when the police pull us over.
Right.
You understand? Because we know what that means for us when they pull up behind us. Right? All right, let's get Acts 3 and 18. Acts 3 and 19, right? Because the brother, you now you understand, right? This is how our history lines up with the Bible, identifying us as the Israelites, right? You must keep some law. You gotta keep the laws of God. You've been knowing too long to not keep the law. If you listen to IUIC, all we talk about keep God's laws, keep God's laws. There's no way you can't encounter that if you're dealing with us, right? So now let's find out what we gotta do, right? Read.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 3 and verse 19. Repent ye therefore and be converted.
You know what it means to repent?
To follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. And
Okay. Right? So you have to stop what you're doing already, right? And now begin to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? So our people is not following the commandments, right? We found out you're not following some laws, right? So now it's time for you to repent and be converted. How do you become converted? Do you know?
I would say continue to do the commandments.
Okay. Let's find out if you're right, because you said I would say, right? So this is your thoughts, right? But how do we validate whether we're right or we're wrong, right? Follow the scriptures, right? So give me that Psalm 19:7. Let's find out if you're right or if you're wrong. This is how you validate your words, right? Read.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
So the law of the Lord is perfect and it converts the soul. So how do you get converted? Absolutely right. Continue to keep the laws of God. You're going to change. You're going to change internally and externally. All right? That is how we are to be converted, and that's how we to please the Most High God. All right? Give me Matthew 26:6. You got any questions, brother?
not at this time. No.
Okay, good. You got our contact information, right? If this is important to you, it's on the back. Social media, right? When you get in the car, you can follow us on Facebook. You can find out what we're doing, what classes we have. We teach classes. We say 3 times a day, 7 day weeks, but it's all day, every day. All day. There's a class on right now. You can watch it. We got thousands and thousands of hours of teaching that you can watch and learn for yourself. All right?
We used to scream Black Power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.